Good morning, my name is Chris Galler with the Minnesota Association of Realtors. Thank you for joining us in our video resource. This is similar to our newsletter resource, our email resource, and we are now providing it to you in a podcast video resource. Today's program that I'm going to be discussing are the recommendations that the Governmental Affairs Committee has forwarded to the Board of Directors for their consideration at a board meeting this Wednesday, February 11th. There are 5 recommendations, and I'll review them with you quickly. The first is that continuing education remain at 15 hours, but that within the 15 hours there be a module. It may be a 5-hour module program, a 7.5 module program, but those will be required courses that everybody will have to take, similar to agency and fair housing. Those courses may be on purchase agreements and contingency forms, may be on the new short sale form. It could be on the entire REO foreclosure short sale process. The thought was that all agents should have a baseline of knowledge on certain particular issues that seem to come and go. Many of you that have been in business can remember mold a few years ago, or methamphetamine, when we've had problems that everyone should be knowledgeable about. That's the first recommendation. The second recommendation that the committee agreed on was that those folks taking the module courses should also test out of them. In order to make sure that everyone has a minimum base of knowledge, it's important that they be tested on it. Will they be rigorous tests? Not too rigorous that we don't think you'll pass, but rigorous enough to make sure that you're paying attention and are gathering in the main objectives of the course. Some folks have taken programs online, and certainly there are tests related to that. So we're confident that tests can be designed that both serve the purpose of making sure that people are paying attention and learning the main pieces, and second, to make sure that everyone has a reasonable base of knowledge. The third issue will be related to broker licenses. It will require that agents have at least 3 years of experience before they get their broker real estate license. The thought here is that before a salesperson can manage others and be responsible for their actions, they should have at least an additional 3rd year of practice in the field. They discussed a number of alternatives, including going as high as 5 years, but the committee decided at this point in time, by increasing it 50% to 3 years, that would be appropriate. The fourth module, or the fourth item that they'll be voting on, is a broker module requiring brokers to take a specific course related to operating a brokerage firm. This would be a 3-hour module, again, within a 2-year period that brokers would have to take in order to maintain their broker's license. And then the 5th item, which is not a Department of Commerce item, but a Realtor Association item, would be that real estate brokers that join the Realtor organization would be required to take an additional 3 hours of broker ethics training. This would be in addition to the 2.5 hours that the National Association requires. This might not be just on the Code of Ethics, but on a larger, broader ethics issues. What are ethics in the business? And again, some people would say, why only brokers? Because brokers are responsible for the actions of their agents. And the committee thought that was the most appropriate place for that type of training to be taking place. Those will be actions that the Board of Directors will be discussing on Wednesday, February 11th, and we will let you know how it comes out next week when we do our video resource. Thank you for joining me.